Governor, if Dorothy were to show up, she would look around and say, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Is this quite a departure from what y'all have seen most of your lives? This is just absolutely amazing. We're here today to celebrate another great component to rebuild Alabama. And we are delighted and honored that the founder of Rebuild Alabama has arrived and she is on stage. I know that state legislators and county commissioners for the last 40 years have been wanting something to happen on this location. Because when people were coming through Georgia and coming into Alabama, the Welcome Center that was here since the 70s was not our finest welcome mat. But Governor Ivey circled this as one of the major assets in your county that had to be replaced. Because we're going to have the opportunity in May and November to give Kay Ivey something that this state has never given anybody. And that's a total of 10 years in one spot to keep going forward so that we don't have to stop and start and stop and stop. Because she got, as you know, she got her start in her career in the next county. She learned a lot in Lee County at Auburn. When she was in the 11th grade, she went to Girl State. And later when Lurleen Wallace was governor, she became friends with Lurleen Wallace. There is a photograph in the governor's mansion right now showing college-age Kay Ivey with her mentor, Lurleen Wallace. I think, and since Christmas, there is a portrait of Lurleen Wallace that has been returned on display in the governor's mansion where it belongs, because she's been an inspiration to Kay Ivey. Kay Ivey is an inspiration to all of us to do the very best for the people in the state, and we're happy to say that the governor is a big supporter of tourism. This is a very big investment in tourism, so when people come across the state line, they're going to say, wow, this is a great front door for the state of Alabama. It is my pleasure and honor to bring to the podium the best governor that the state of Alabama has ever had, Governor Kay Ivey.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Director Centel, for that kind introduction. And thank you, Lee, for your effective leadership with the Alabama Department of Tourism. Folks, it's a pleasure to be here in Lanett today to celebrate the opening of Alabama's newest Welcome Center. Here in Sweet Home, Alabama, we take pride in our Southern hospitality. We treat people like we want to be treated. And Alabama is the most welcoming state in the nation, I firmly believe. And I believe that our visitors will agree. As Lee and the folks at Tourism would tell you, we take great pride in showing the world all that Alabama is. And I'm proud that this new Welcome Center will add to that. Earlier this week in my State of the State address, I noted that Alabama's tourism industry just came off of one of its best years on record. And it's important that we continue setting ourselves up to build on that momentum. And that's why I'm so proud to be here today to officially cut the ribbon on the new Lanett Welcome Center. The Ivy administration will continue working hard to ensure that we're doing all we can to welcome visitors from far and near to our state and show why we are all so proud to call Alabama our home. Thank you all for being here today. It's great to be with you for this event, and may God continue to bless each of you and the great state of Alabama.
Thank you, Governor, for being here. It is my pleasure to bring you greetings from Mr. John Cooper, who is our director, who could not be here because of his schedule. But it's a pleasure to work with the governor and being able to bring this project to fruition. We want to thank Director Centel and that partnership that we have with tourism with ALDOT throughout the state. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all of the workers with ALDOT as we represent them for all the workers who participate in this project. Shannon Jones and his staff, Jamie Davis and others. I'd like y'all to raise your hand and give them a round of applause for managing this project. As we move forward, we realize that this is one of the gateways to the state of Alabama, and we want to be represented well, and the staff that's here will continue to do that. And thank you all for being here.
You know these people here. So it's my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Randy Price, the Honorable Debbie Wood, and the Honorable Bob Fincham.
Thank you. Good morning. Isn't it a wonderful day? What a beautiful, beautiful building that we have behind us. And the thing to welcome people to the great state of Alabama. Governor, thank you for your leadership. And thank you for putting this project together. As people come across into Alabama from all over the world, they're going to be welcomed by great people here in Chambers County to understand how great Alabama really is. As the Vice Chairman in the Senate of Tourism, I understand how important tourism dollars are to the state of Alabama and what they can bring not only to the state of Alabama, but they can bring to Chambers County. So by doing that, having this facility, thank you, ALDOT, for what you have done to make this now a reality. It's a great day. God bless the people of Chambers County, and God bless the great state of Alabama. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. I am so filled with emotion this morning, and I do want to thank our governor for tapping this project and knowing and having the vision for the gateway for Alabama. For a long time, we've had visitors that have flowed through here, and they may have left here not thinking or having a great feeling about our great state. But when they come by here now, they're going to want to stay. They're going to want to shop. They're going to want to play. And that's what we want. We want people to come to our state and use it and love it like we do. And I would like to recognize Miss Laura, if you'll come up front. Miss Modo, that's all I know you as, Melinda. I know your name's Melinda, but Modo, Miss Linda. And I think y'all have a gentleman working with you now. I don't know him. So these are your people that when those people pull in here, these are the faces they see. And you know what? This may be the only face they see of Alabama. And I am so proud of these people because they love our state. They love our community. And they do everything they can to sell it. So welcome home. Welcome home. And I want to shout out to the mayor of Lanett. Is he here? Jamie Hurd. Lord, this is right here in Lanett, Mayor Hurd. And you didn't have to spend $1. So, thank you. And I also cannot say enough about our regional director, Jarvis Leonard, how wonderful he's been to work with, how open he's been. He has my number, I have his number. I know sometimes you hear a lot about state government not working together, but I can tell you in the limited time that I've been here in my 3 years, I don't see that. We communicate, we give each other our phone numbers, we call each other because we want to see great things happen in this state. It's people like our governor, our representatives, our directors, Director Cooper, who sometimes, boy, bless his heart, he gets a lot of criticism. He works really, really hard for our state and making wise decisions with your money. This was a wise decision that was made. It's something we can see, it's something we can utilize, and it's something that we can be proud of. So thank y'all all for being here. It's a great day.
Thank you, Governor, for the work that you've done in bringing this to Chambers County, Alabama. This kind of sets a precedent. This is a prototype for things we look for in other counties, I think, as we expand. As I have gotten older, I have noticed that I think we need to have rest areas closer together with Jarvis. Maybe every 20 miles or something like that. I don't know if there's anybody else that relates to that out in the crowd other than myself, but I think we do need to do that. This is a wonderful facility. It's a beautiful facility, and it has the ability to promote Alabama. And we live in a wonderful state and a wonderful area in our state. This road is inclining up out here coming out of the Chattahoochee Valley, and it's going to go through Casita. And those folks here around Chambers County know that that's a historical site within this county. And then it's going to go to Opelika, and it's the wonderful historical city of Opelika, and it's going to go on through Auburn, and our land grant college over there, Sanford Hall, and Jordan-Hare Stadium and all of that, and it's going to go to Macon County. We're in God's country here in East Central Alabama. It's going to go into Macon County, and there we're going to find Tuskegee and Tuskegee University and its historical significance. We've got Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver, the Tuskegee Airmen. And we have such historical connections there. And then they're going to go to Montgomery and they're going to hit the mother lode. Montgomery has such historical significance, not just to Alabama, but to the entire region. Of course, it's called the Cradle of the Confederacy. Jefferson Davis was sworn in there as the first president of the Confederacy. It's also the birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. Martin Luther King found his voice there as a young minister when he took over the Civil Rights Movement, and it's the birthplace of that. And we have such strong historical connections here, and these folks that were just introduced are going to tell people about that as they come up 85 and tell them where they can go and visit, and so we are thrilled. Once again, thank you, Governor. Thank you, Mr. Centel. Thank you, Mr. Leonard, and we appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming out on a cool morning.
We're going to move up for the ribbon cutting. I mean, what you had to say about having to make frequent stops along our travels when I was doing what we call a site inspection of the men's room. I knew that it would have open concept, but I looked around to see how open the concept really was. But this is called, I guess it's called social distancing. But we're going to move up now and have a photo. And Governor, thanks again for the gift to Chambers County of this spectacular welcome center for the state of Alabama. Thank you, Governor.
I get you guys a little bit this direction. Right there, perfect, perfect. Got what you needed? Ready?
Thank y'all for being here. It's a great day in Alabama and here in Chambers County and Lanett. And I'm certainly proud to be a part of celebrating the opening of the state's newest welcome center. This is the gateway to Alabama on this side of the state. And this facility and the people who staff it will do a whole lot to impress visitors from far and near who come so that they can enjoy our great state. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Why is it so important to have this welcome center here?
Why is it so important to have the welcome center here?
Well, this is a gateway to Alabama coming in from Georgia. And we want everybody that enters our state to feel good about us. We want to stay longer. And so this needs to be first class, and I believe it is.
Is this a sign of economic times in Alabama, this building?
The economy is certainly strong and growing. So I'd say yes.
When's the last time that you've been in one of these rest areas? Do you use them when you travel?
Sometimes we stop at rest areas.
Well, it's so exciting. After 2 years, our Welcome Center in Lanett, the gateway to the state of Alabama, is opening up, and we are so excited. It is absolutely beautiful. We are welcoming home Laura, Melinda, which we call Modo, and Miss Linda. They take care of all of the tourists that come through. They tell them about the state of Alabama, and they encourage them to stay here, to live here, and to spend their money here, which is so important for us. But the building is absolutely spectacular. Please take time to come by and see it. I can't say enough about Director Cooper, the Department of Transportation. Mr. Leonard, who's our regional director, has worked so hard to ensure that we get to open this facility today. The grounds are beautiful. They still have all the same amenities. If you have an RV or a camper, you can still come by and get your water. There's a dump site. There's so much that you can do here, right here at home. So come by and get all your brochures, get all of the information on discounts without the state, and visit with our people.
We're so thrilled to have the new Welcome Center. Long time coming. We had it for 42 years, and DOT said finally they'd done so much patching and renovation that it was cheaper just to demolish it and start again. So that's why we're here now, and 2 years out at the Opelika Center, and then we moved back to, this week. So we're so thrilled to be here in the new center.
Okay, and tell us what you're most excited about in this new facility.
Well, we can deal with more travelers. When you move your location to a different one for temporary, you lose a lot of your travelers. So we've missed those travelers we would see, every month or every year coming to visit family. So we miss that interaction with the people, and that's what we love the most.
I am the Welcome Center Administrator for the state of Alabama, so I supervise all 8 Welcome Centers for Alabama. This is an exciting day for us. It's been a long time coming. This original building was built in 1977. So even though it was very well maintained, it was time for a new building. And so through ALDOT's work, they were able to rebuild the center. And today we're having a ribbon cutting and opening it to the public.
What do you want to say to the public who are going to be coming through here?
When you enter Alabama, you'll be welcomed by our very capable staff. They'll treat you like family. Anything you need, they'll be able to accommodate you.
My name is Barry Robinson. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Florida. I went to school at Tuskegee University. I graduated with a master's in architecture. So the state of Alabama has hired me to traverse the state and kind of get an idea of what would be the best facilities throughout the state. So I'm the architect of record for all the welcome centers. I've done the welcome center on I-10 out of Mississippi. I've done the welcome center coming out of Tennessee, Alabama line, and now I've completed this one. So basically what I do, I traverse the state and try to get a vision of what would suit best for that particular facility within that vicinity. So this facility is pretty much designed to fit this environment and this, atmosphere here.
Did you look at the area of Lanett Valley Chamber?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that experience when you did that.
We know that the Lanett Valley experience is more of an industrial experience. So my structure is basically exposed structures, structural steel, materials that are industrial like brick, stone, things like that. So
I'm the region engineer for the East Central region of Alabama. Well, we've been trying to let this to contract or get it constructed for almost over 10 years or more. We actually let this to contract once, and the price came in so high we had to reject the bids. But we're excited, and this is the prototype for the projects throughout the state. My role is to construction management, and I have a staff that works under me that was responsible for the construction management with the contractor and the architect to make sure that everything was constructed according to plans and specifications. I've been here several times during the construction, and we're excited. It is going to represent the gateway of Alabama. When someone comes in to see this, it's just going to build a wow factor. It's going to give them reasons to stop and to stay in Alabama.
It's very important to know that over the past 20-something years, there's not been a lot done to say welcome to the state of Alabama. So I think it's fantastic that the governor and the Department of Transportation invested time, effort, and money into such a great facility to welcome everyone into the state of Alabama. So it's a huge asset to us, and it's a great, it just sets the tone for what a great place Chambers County is to do business. And so we're really excited about it, excited for the city of Lanett, and excited for the state of Alabama and Chambers County.